I came home to someone else's posters on my walls and a rental invoice on the kitchen table with my name on it. 4 weeks at summer camp. 4 weeks. That's all it took for my dad and stepmom to erase me from my own house. They gave my bedroom to my stepsister Haley, redecorated it. New paint, new curtains, even new furniture. Then they sat me down and slid a paper across the table. Rental agreement, it said at the top. $400 a month, to sleep on a pull-out couch in the basement. My stepmom smiled like she was doing me a favor. You're 18 now. Adults pay their way. How do you charge your own kid rent for a room you stole? I had proof. Documents, screenshots, everything. But they didn't know that yet. Stick around. This one gets wild. And drop a comment. Where are you watching from and what time is it? Hit like if you've ever been the extra kid in your own house. I stood in that kitchen and realized my own father had evicted me. But I wasn't about to let them erase me. Let me back up. My dad remarried when I was 13. Diane moved in with her daughter Haley. Haley was 12, bubbly, loud. I learned fast that I was the supporting character in their story. 3 Christmases in a row, Haley got the big gifts. The laptop. The camera. The trip to Disneyland. I got socks and a lecture about gratitude. You should be thankful, Diane would say. Not everyone has a roof over their head. So I stayed quiet, I worked. I got a job at the library when I was 15. I tutored middle schoolers after school. I saved everything. Every birthday check from my grandparents. Every paycheck. $3,200 in a separate account my dad didn't control. I also kept records. Not because I was paranoid, because I had to be. I'm the kind of person who screenshots everything. Texts, emails, promises. When my dad told me, "This is your space, kiddo. No one touches it," I saved the message. When Diane said she'd pay me back for groceries, I kept the receipts. Survival, not paranoia. The summer before my senior year, I won a scholarship to a leadership camp. 4 weeks in the mountains. It was an honor. My counselor nominated me because of my grades. My dad seemed proud. He drove me to the bus. "Have fun," he said. "Your room will be here when you get back." I believed him. When I walked through the front door 4 weeks later, my room wasn't mine anymore. The walls were lavender. Haley's art prints hung where my bookshelf used to be. My desk was gone. My bed was gone. Everything I owned was in boxes in the basement, and that's when things got ugly. Diane was waiting in the kitchen when I came upstairs. My dad sat at the table. He wouldn't look at me. She slid the paper across, printed on some fake letterhead. Residential rental agreement. Haley needs the bigger room, Diane said. For her art studio. And her mental health. I stared at her. You're technically still living here, she continued. So fair is fair. $400 a month, or you'll need to make other arrangements. I looked at my dad. Dad? He cleared his throat. Don't make this harder than it is. That was it. That was all he said. Haley leaned against the doorway, smiling. It's not personal, she said. I just need the space more than you do. Diane handed me a printed list. House rules, she called it. No access to the upstairs bathroom during Haley's morning routine. No kitchen after 8 p.m. Basement door stays closed when Haley has friends over. I read it twice. I've been paying for groceries since I was 16, I said quietly. Diane waved a hand. That was voluntary. This is rent? There's a difference. My dad finally looked up. Just try to understand, he said. Diane's stressed. Haley's been struggling. It's temporary. Temporary. Right. First payment is due in 1 week, Diane said. Cash or Venmo? I didn't say anything. I walked downstairs, closed the door, and opened my laptop. They thought I had no options. They were wrong. I tried everything I could think of. I called my bio mom. She lives 2 states away. We talk maybe twice a year. Just pay it, she said. Keep the peace until you graduate. Thanks, Mom. I called the school counselor tip line. They said family housing disputes are civil matters. They couldn't help. I texted my Uncle Matt. He's my dad's brother. He was sympathetic. I wish I could take you in, kiddo, but we don't have the space long term. I checked my bank account. $3,200. First and last month's rent anywhere decent would cost at least $1,500. I'd have to quit school to work full time. My college savings would be gone. I sat on that basement couch and thought about signing the paper. My phone buzzed. A voicemail from my dad. Hey kid, I know this is weird. Just sign it. We'll figure it out. Diane's really stressed, and Haley's been struggling. It's temporary. Temporary. He kept saying that. Maybe I was being difficult. Maybe I should just go. Then I remembered something. The folder, the documents, and I remembered the lease, the custody agreement. The one my parents signed in court when I was 10. I opened my cloud drive. I thought I'd lost. But I hadn't looked at everything yet. I found it in a folder labeled Legal Divorce. The custody and child support agreement, signed by both my parents when I was 10. I scrolled to page 4. Clause 4.2. Non-custodial residence must include private bedroom access for minor child during parenting time and primary residence periods. I read it 3 times. Private bedroom access. Not a couch. Not a shared space. A bedroom. And the next line was even better. This provision remains in effect until the child reaches 19 years of age or graduates high school, whichever occurs later. I was 18. My senior year started in 4 weeks. They weren't just disrespecting me. They were violating a court order. I took a screenshot. I saved 3 copies, one in the cloud, one on my phone, one on a thumb drive. Then I checked the date my dad signed it. 12 years ago. Still active, still enforceable. I wasn't homeless. I was documenting. My hands stopped shaking. For the first time in a week, I smiled. They thought they could erase me, but I had the receipts. And that wasn't all I found. Not even close. Diane didn't wait for my answer. She went on the offensive. Day 5. She started a group text with my dad's whole family. Aunts, uncles, grandparents, everyone. Just want everyone to know how hard we're trying, she wrote. We've been more than fair, but some people refuse to contribute or show gratitude. Haley doesn't even feel safe in her own home anymore. My phone exploded. My grandmother called. What's going on? Are you being difficult? My aunt texted. Your dad and Diane have been so generous. Why are you making this hard? I didn't reply. I didn't know what to say yet. Haley posted a TikTok. Vague but obvious. When toxic people in your house steal your energy and make everything about them. It had 4,000 views in an hour. Then my dad came downstairs. He sat on the edge of the couch. Look, he said. Just be flexible for a few months. Diane's salary took a hit. We're counting on that 400. I stared at him. And if I don't pay? He sighed. Then we'll have to dip into your college fund. It's in my name. I don't want to. But we need the money. There it was. Not just my room, my future. You have 2 days, he said. Then he went back upstairs. I sat there in the dark. They wanted me to fold. Instead, I went back to the folder. Because I wasn't done digging. I found it in a folder labeled Legal Divorce. The custody and child support agreement, signed by both my parents when I was 10. I scrolled to page 4. Clause 4.2. Non-custodial residence must include private bedroom access for minor child during parenting time and primary residence periods. I read it 3 times. Private bedroom access. Not a couch. Not a shared space. A bedroom. And the next line was even better. This provision remains in effect until the child reaches 19 years of age or graduates high school, whichever occurs later. I was 18. My senior year started in 4 weeks. They weren't just disrespecting me. They were violating a court order. I took a screenshot. I saved 3 copies, one in the cloud, one on my phone, one on a thumb drive. Then I checked the date my dad signed it. 12 years ago. Still active, still enforceable. I wasn't homeless. I was documenting. My hands stopped shaking. For the first time in a week, I smiled. They thought they could erase me, but I had the receipts. And that wasn't all I found. Not even close. My dad added me to the family checking account when I was 16. Transparency, he called it. I could see every transaction, so I pulled the export. 2 years of history. I filtered by my name. 48 deposits, groceries, electric bill, internet bill, all marked house contribution. $4,800 in 2 years. Then I filtered by Haley's name. $0, not 1 dime. I took another screenshot, but I wasn't finished. I opened the old family group chat. The one from last January. I scrolled back. January 14th. Diane sent a message. Thank you for covering groceries again this month. We'll pay you back when bonus season hits. Bonus season was March. I checked the account again. Dad's bonus deposited March 22nd. $11,000. I never saw a cent. I hadn't been living rent-free. I'd been subsidizing Haley, and now they wanted more. I saved everything. Transaction log. Diane's promise. The bonus deposit. I labeled it all. Receipt number 2. Now I had leverage. I just needed to know why they were really doing this. And I was about to find out. Uncle Matt called me back that night. His voice was quieter this time. I need to tell you something, he said. But you didn't hear it from me. I waited. Diane's younger sister is moving to town. She needs a place to stay. Temporarily. My stomach dropped. They already promised her Haley's old room. The smaller one. So that's why they needed mine. There's more, Uncle Matt said. Haley's TikTok thing. The ring light, the camera, the trips to competitions. That costs money. How much? Last setup was $1,100. The cheer trip was another $600. $1,700. They're billing you, he said. Your $400 a month covers Haley's content equipment. And it makes them look generous for housing Diane's sister rent-free. I closed my eyes. I wasn't their kid. I was their ATM. I'm sorry, Uncle Matt said. I thought you should know. I thanked him and hung up. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just sat there in the silence. And then I opened my email, because now I knew exactly what to do. It wasn't about fairness anymore. It was about enforcement, and I was done asking nicely. I emailed my bio mom. I attached the custody agreement, the bank records, everything. She called me 10 minutes later. Are you kidding me? She was furious. I've been sending child support. This is a violation. She conferenced in a paralegal, a friend of hers who does family law. The paralegal was calm, professional. You have two options, she said. You can file a motion to enforce the custody order, or you can send a demand letter first. What's a demand letter? It's a formal request. You cite the violation. You attach proof. You give them 72 hours to comply. If they don't, you file. Can I do that myself? I'll help you, she said. No charge. This is clean cut. We drafted it that night. 1 page. Subject line. Enforcement of Parenting Plan Clause 4.2. Accounting request. I cited the private bedroom requirement. I attached Exhibit A, the custody clause. I attached Exhibit B, the bank log. I CC'd my bio mom and the paralegal. At the bottom, one line. Compliance required within 72 hours or motion will be filed with the court. I read it 5 times. Then I hit send. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just sent it to my dad's email. At 9:42 p.m., I gave them 3 days. They didn't take me seriously. That was their second mistake. 71 hours later, I still hadn't heard from my dad. So my bio mom and I filed the motion. The court clerk set a compliance hearing. 10 days out. My dad got served at work. That evening, Diane called an emergency family meeting. I arrived with a 3-ring binder. My bio mom was on speakerphone. Uncle Matt came as a witness. Diane tried to control the room. This is ridiculous, she said. You're being manipulative. I set the binder on the table. Let me show you what's ridiculous. I opened to the first tab. Exhibit A, the custody agreement. Signed by both my parents 12 years ago. I slid it toward my dad. Clause 4.2. Private bedroom required until I'm 19 or graduate high school. Diane started to interrupt. I kept going. Exhibit B, my bank contributions. 48 deposits over 2 years. $4,800. Haley's contributions? 0. I turned the page. Exhibit C, Diane's text from January 14th. Quote, we'll pay you back when bonus season hits. I looked at my dad. Your bonus was $11,000. I got nothing. Uncle Matt nodded. It's true, he said quietly. Diane's face went red. This is a private family matter. My bio mom's voice came through the speaker. No, this is enforcement of a court order. You violated it. We filed. The hearing is in 10 days. I slid one more page across the table. Exhibit D, timeline of Haley's expenses and Diane's sister's move-in date. My dad picked it up. He read it. His face went pale. You can settle this now, I said. Or a judge will order it in 10 days. And my mom's lawyer will request full financial discovery, including the college fund. Silence. Haley stood in the hallway. She looked shocked. Diane opened her mouth, closed it. My dad put his head in his hands. Fine, he said. Fine, you get the room back. And the reimbursement, I said. Half of what I contributed. $2,400. Fine. In writing. He looked up at me. I didn't blink. He pulled out a piece of paper and wrote it. Signed it. Dated it. I took a photo of it with my phone. 9:47 p.m. My bio mom spoke one more time. This is what boundaries look like. I picked up the binder and went upstairs. I started moving my stuff back. The next 2 weeks were cold. Haley moved into the smaller room. She barely looked at me. Diane's sister found other arrangements. Suddenly she had options. My dad paid the $2,400 in 2 installments. I opened a new account. My bio mom was co-signer this time. He couldn't touch it. We didn't talk much. He'd nod at me in the hallway. That was it. He showed up to my senior events, sat in the back. Left early. The warmth was gone. But I was done shrinking myself to keep the peace. I started therapy. The school offered 6 free sessions. My therapist gave me words for what I'd lived through. Financial abuse, scapegoat and golden child dynamic. You weren't fighting for a room, she said. You were fighting to exist. She was right. I also asked my bio mom to request an audit of the college fund. It was intact. My dad never touched it, but the threat was real. And now I knew what he was capable of. I applied early decision to a school 3 states away. I got in. Full ride. Merit scholarship. I opened the acceptance letter alone in my room. My real room, I cried. Happy tears. I texted my bio mom first. My dad found out 2 days later. The night before I moved to the dorms, he tried to apologize. He sat on the edge of my bed. I didn't handle things right, he said. I'm sorry. I looked at him. I forgive you, I said. But I won't forget. And I won't fund someone else's lifestyle again. He nodded. He looked small. I love you, I said. But I need distance. He didn't argue. I moved out in August. I keep in touch. Holidays, birthdays, short phone calls. But I set the terms now. Diane and I don't speak. Haley unblocked me a year later. We're civil. My dad and I are working on it, slowly. But I learned something I'll never forget. Respect isn't given by people who need you small. It's taken back with proof and boundaries. I still keep receipts. I still screenshot everything. Not because I'm paranoid. Because I know my worth, and I'll never let anyone erase me again. Your turn. Have you ever been the extra in your own home? What's one receipt you wish you'd kept? Tell me in the comments. And if this story helped you feel less alone, hit subscribe. You're not invisible. I see you. This story is a fictionalized dramatization and is not legal or financial advice. Next video drops in 3 days. Stay loud.